We're back. Thanks for staying with us. Joined now by Joe Grimes. He's the CEO of Travel Rides International Incorporated, XNDA, the stock symbol. Joe, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
We had a great conversation before going on the air where you're basically saying it's time to move, time to make some progress. Tell us what you're doing.
So, I think there's value in kind of reviewing what we've done. Travel Rides into International, we started the asset purchase in January 2020, successfully executed it. In 2020 to currently, we're currently fully audited and SEC compliant. In mid-2022, we initiated our testing program for drivers. And a little bit later than that, we released a minimum viable product for both drivers and riders for both Apple and Android, and we're currently testing it out. In October 2022, FINRA approved Glendale Securities as our market maker. And the great news about that is finally all the notices that were on our stock ticker on XNDA have been removed. And we have a clean bill of health, fully reporting and moving that forward. So the plan is to go from the OTCPINK sheets to the OTCQB first quarter 2023. And we're very excited about that.
Well, Joe, tell us about the differences between your driver app and the status quo, so to speak, on Uber and Lyft.
Well, maybe some of your viewers have noticed in the news that Uber and Lyft, their fundamental business model, that is, they provide drivers with who to pick up, when to pick up, they pay the drivers a particular rate and don't allow drivers and riders to match up in the future. That government is concerned about that they're not truly independent contractors, but employees. And so in the press recently, there's been a tremendous amount of cautionary tones associated with that business model. Travel Rides, XNDA, does not have that problem. We truly embrace drivers as part of the gig economy, being independent contractors, able to manage and maintain their own schedules, and to be able to provide different kinds of costs associated with it. They get to create their own work schedules. But more importantly, if a rider and a driver work well together on our app, that rider then can schedule rides with those drivers that they like. Very important. Along with that, riders have a whole variety of different capabilities. And very soon we're going to be rolling out our driver loyalty program, which we think, at least what we've tested in the marketplace with our drivers, is really welcomed. And I think that those are the kinds of elements that really allow us to compete with the Goliaths in the marketplace.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. When I would go to New York City on business, I would always try to hire the same livery driver because we got along well. We understood where I wanted to go. Same should be the case for rideshare apps.
Well, and more than that, Don, I mean, it's as simple as our app allowing different languages to be used. So if you're using Uber or if you're using Lyft and you have a community that has Spanish or Farsi or whatever language it happens to be, our app allows the driver app and the rider app to provide that native language that people are using to communicate more effectively. And Uber and Lyft simply don't do that.
Now, right now, can you download the app and start using it and start driving and start riding?
No. So right now we have what we call a minimum viable product. And we have a small group of drivers who are working with a small group of riders. Now, you can go on the net, you can go on the Apple Store, you can go on the Android store, and you can download it. But we require registration and approval. And right now we're trying to just work with that small cadre of drivers and riders in a small community, Southern California, to test it, to beat on it, to review it, to provide us with input as to what they would really like. What are some of the features that they've been kind of getting around using the Uber app? The drivers call it gaming the system. And we don't want them to game our system. We want them to use our application. We want riders to feel comfortable selecting the drivers that they want. And we think that that's what we're doing in our test group of drivers seem to be appreciating that.
There's something around the corner that we haven't touched on in a little while is the driverless cars. Your app really works well for that, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So we're establishing a baseline software platform in which, with the emergence of self-driving cars, those drivers who are currently drivers on the shared ride app can migrate over seamlessly onto our self-driving app. So they don't have to give up that part-time job or that full-time job just because there's an entrance in the marketplace of self-driving cars.
You get home in the evening, you send your car out to make money for you.
That's exactly it. Safely, reliably, cost-effectively.
Have you been testing that yet?
No, we haven't. We've got the patents secured and approved, and we're trying to develop that baseline software system and open architecture for that to occur. Right now, although we've got the baseline, we're really focused on shared rides.
What's the biggest challenge facing the company in 23, would you say?
I think that the biggest challenge is meeting the heightened expectations from drivers and how quickly we can roll out the app. So our financial plans show us rolling it out third quarter, fourth quarter of the fully released version, third quarter, fourth quarter of 2023. And the challenge for us is to do it earlier and to make it error-proof and very slick. And that's the challenge.
I know a lot of Uber drivers are also Lyft drivers. Do you see them becoming ride drivers as well?
Yeah, we do actually. If you notice the last financial disclosure from Lyft, they're losing drivers left and right. And their equity took a pretty significant hit. 2 days ago, what's today? 2 days ago, we got a call from a couple of people that said, we have 150 networks associated with drivers, both on Lyft and Uber, who would love to migrate to your platform. When is it going to be done? When is it going to be released? So what we're communicating is being heard loud and clear, and we're urgently trying to get it out. And we're very pleased to be on a program like this, sharing this kind of information with your investors and making our equity available now on the OTC pink sheets.
The company's Travelrise International Incorporated, XNDA. Joe, great progress. I'm assuming even greater progress in 23. Thanks so much.
Really appreciate it. And I wish happy Thanksgiving to all your viewers. Thank you so much.